things happened tonight, people. 3 great things happened tonight. Number 1, Roman Reigns is not your WWE champion. Thank fucking God. Number 2, we just hit 25,000 subscribers. Number 3, Seth Rollins is your new WWE champion. This is your official WrestleMania 31 review brought to you guys by WrestleCrates. Go visit them on Twitter, at WrestleCrates on Twitter. It's going to be exactly like Loot Crate and the arcade block that I was participating in, but WWE themed, man. It's going to be unbelievable. So go check those guys out down in the description below. Me and them are going to be working together on a nice little partnership, and I want to thank those guys very, very much. WrestleMania 31, guys, I couldn't be more pleased with what WWE put together tonight. One of the, and I said this on Twitter, one of the best WrestleManias I think I have ever seen, and this is coming from a WWE fan of over 25 years. It had everything, and honestly, I did not want the show to end, even though some of you took aim at me on Twitter, complaining about several different things here and there. The Undertaker beating Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt got buried. John Cena buried Rusev. The Divas getting 5 minutes at WrestleMania. Bryan winning the Intercontinental title. It seems like everybody that was tweeting at me had something negative to say about something at this pay-per-view. There's nothing in my mind and in my eyes that I can legitimately complain about. WWE executed everything absolutely perfectly tonight, and I want to tip my cap to WWE, Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, and everybody involved for putting on WrestleMania 31. It absolutely head and shoulders blows away anything that WWE WrestleMania related in the last several years, and I want to tip my cap to them, like I said, man. Absolutely amazing show. If you guys missed it on the WWE Network, do yourselves a favor, go out and buy the network, and please go revisit what happened tonight. It had absolutely everything. And what I want to start off first with is the WWE Championship, because I'm still shaking after what we seen tonight at WrestleMania, man. I'm still shaking. WWE and Vince McMahon and everybody involved were going to give me a fucking heart attack tonight, because the way Lesnar was dominating Roman Reigns in the middle of that ring tonight at the end of that pay-per-view, I could have swore it was going the route of John Cena at SummerSlam in 2014. There was no way physically possible that WWE could make me believe Roman Reigns was going to survive all that and more that Brock Lesnar dished out, and I really thought Roman Reigns was going to win it. I didn't think Seth Rollins was going to cash in. It was getting down to the end of the pay-per-view. We had legitimately 3 minutes left to go, and there was no sign of Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar was bleeding profusely from his forehead after a shot Roman Reigns gave him on the ring post. And then 3 or 4 Superman punches later and a spear, and Brock Lesnar kicked out. I was shaking. I thought I was going to have a fucking heart attack watching it in the comfort of my own living room. And you guys were saying, I hope Roman Reigns wins because I want to see JD rant on YouTube, man. There's no rant here, man. WWE executed this match the way it should have been, and that was absolutely perfect. It needed to be a Pier 6 brawl. It needed to be physical. It needed to be a bar fight, and that's exactly what it was. Roman Reigns busted Brock Lesnar open within the first 45 seconds of this match, and once blood was shed, it was all game from there, man. It was completely brutal, completely physical, and I will tip my cap to Roman Reigns tonight for showing some guts and taking the beating by Brock Lesnar like a fucking man. I'm just glad the WWE did the right thing, and when it came down to it, Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Finally, I knew it was going to happen. I predicted it on Joe Cronin this afternoon. I've been predicting it for a couple of weeks now. Seth Rollins walks out of WrestleMania, your WWE champion. Brock Lesnar wasn't pinned. He wasn't compromised. His reign wasn't compromised. He was just outsmarted by an opportunist, and that's what Seth Rollins is, man. They used to call Edge the opportunist. Now, Seth Rollins takes that place as our modern day opportunist. Now with the Money in the Bank cashed in, he's now WWE champion. So WWE went the right route. They didn't make Lesnar look weak at all. He took a blow to the head that stunned him in the last 2 minutes of that match, and he found it very difficult to gain composure after that. legitimately, he was a beast throughout the entire match. In that one instance, Brock Lesnar looked weak, man. The entire match was scripted beautifully. The ending was scripted beautifully. Roman Reigns didn't walk out the champion. Thank fucking Christ. Nobody wanted him to win. The crowd was very, very vocal about Roman Reigns being on the offensive. They were very vocal about Roman Reigns coming down the aisle. They were very vocal about Roman Reigns, period. They did not want him as the man tonight to be WWE Champion. When Brock Lesnar came down the aisle, everybody was fucking going crazy. When Seth Rollins came down to cash in, the crowd fucking erupted. 76,000 people erupted for the biggest heel in the fucking company because nobody wanted Roman Reigns to win it. So like I said, Brock Lesnar was not pinned. He was not compromised. He was not made to look weak. Roman Reigns was built up in defeat simply because he stood toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar and took the beating of his fucking life and smiled and laughed it off and continued to egg on Brock Lesnar saying, listen, bro, give me more. I'm not done yet. Is that all you have? So when you look at it in retrospect, Reigns was built up strong. Lesnar was made to look strong. He was not made to look weak. His reign as champion may be over, but he was just overcome by the wily opportunist in Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins walks out of WrestleMania, your new WWE champion, and all eyes will be on USA Network tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw to see what's next for Seth Rollins. As per the dirt sheets, it's going to be Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns battling it out for the remainder of the spring and summer for the WWE Championship. And I'd rather have Roman Reigns chase than Seth Rollins just lingering around with the briefcase. I predicted Brock Lesnar to win it and a cash-in to happen after Lesnar won. As long as I got the prediction correct tonight, Seth Rollins, I got that right. With the Wrestle Rumble picks that I participated in earlier this afternoon. But Brock Lesnar loses not by pinfall, but by Seth Rollins cashing in the briefcase on Roman Reigns. So that's that. And Monday Night Raw is going to be very, very interesting on the USA Network. What happens to Brock Lesnar after this, I don't know. He's probably going to take the next couple of months off, and he will probably reemerge at SummerSlam for WWE Summer Spectacular live right here in Brooklyn, New York. So the way the match was, it was absolutely fucking picture perfect, man. It needed to go down the way it did. I commend WWE for a job well done. I didn't think Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar were going to mesh too well in tonight's main event, but they proved me wrong, man, and I was completely thrilled with what happened. I'm okay with Lesnar losing the belt as long as Lesnar is not made to look weak, as long as Lesnar was not pinned for the championship. Roman Reigns laying on his back at WrestleMania is exactly what I wanted to see. He wasn't laid out by Brock Lesnar, but Roman Reigns, like I said, was the wily opportunist who seen an opportunity, capitalized, and now is your new WWE champion. So let me know what you guys think about that one down below. Seth Rollins, listen, it was going to happen eventually. He needed to cash in that briefcase eventually. He only had a couple of months left. There was a bunch of different scenarios WWE could have gone, but I think they made the right decision here. And Seth Rollins, after all he's done and after all he's shown you since last year, since winning that briefcase, he certainly deserves a reign as WWE Champion, and it's going to be damn exciting to see what he can do with that title. Now, the WWE has, again, a monster heel in Seth Rollins carrying around that belt, and it's going to be damn exciting to see what happens next. So, Seth Rollins is your new WWE Champion, and I couldn't be more happy about the outcome as long as Roman Reigns did not walk out of San Francisco with that title tonight. Moving on, the second biggest title tonight, Daniel Bryan wins a ladder match with 6 other individuals and now regains some credibility towards the Intercontinental title, and I couldn't be more pleased with this decision as well. Daniel Bryan needed to win this match simply because Lesnar now, you know, it was going based off Brock Lesnar. Everything was going to be based off Brock Lesnar simply because nobody knew what the outcome of the main event was going to be with his whole contract situation. Brock Lesnar was the favorite going into this match, and if he did walk out of WrestleMania tonight, which he did not, Daniel Bryan, being the new IC champion, would raise the mid-card pretty significantly. But Daniel Bryan won the Intercontinental title tonight to bring significance back to the mid-card. It's gone back to the workhorse wrestler. Guys like Mr. Perfect, Bret the Hitman Hart, Tito Santana, the Texas Tornado, the Ultimate Warrior, etc., etc. Daniel Bryan can be amongst those names now that he is the new Intercontinental Champion. I like this decision because the Intercontinental Champion simply needs to be positioned right under the WWE Championship, and for so long the Intercontinental title has been treated like a joke. It hasn't been defended on TV, it hasn't been defended on pay-per-views, rarely. Okay, and it usually comes down to WrestleMania where the Intercontinental title isn't even a big deal. This year it was made a big deal, and it was either going to come down between Bryan, Ziggler, and Ambrose. And the right man won tonight. Simply because Bryan, I think, deserves it after being shafted in the Royal Rumble, after being shafted at Fastlane trying to get Roman Reigns over. And you see how that worked out tonight with Roman Reigns not even winning the WWE Championship. Simply because I think the WWE knew he wasn't ready. And with all the crowd reaction to Roman Reigns, why would they want to go that route and end WrestleMania on a sour note? So Daniel Bryan wins the Intercontinental title. He's going to be taking that to the house shows. He's going to be defending that. He's going to be having that belt in the spotlight. It's going to be defended on pay-per-views. It's going to be defended on Monday Night Raw. And the right guy has it, man. Daniel Bryan is a workhorse. He will defend it against anybody. He will wrestle anybody. And anyone that steps in the ring with Daniel Bryan automatically has a classic because Bryan knows how to call a match. Bryan knows how to wrestle, and Bryan knows how to tell a story in the ring, and that's what needs to happen with the Intercontinental title. What's going to happen from here on out with Bryan? Bryan is going to battle either Ziggler or Bad News Barrett. Bad News Barrett, I'm sure, is going to have something to say about losing his title in a multi-man match at WrestleMania. There's going to be some type of rematch clause in the works for him. So I see some type of triple threat triangle going on either with him or Ambrose. Ambrose was taken out of the match towards the ending of that match, being powerbombed through a ladder that was positioned on the guardrail and the ring. He went right through it. So he was taken out of the match. And the ending of the match, seen Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler trading headbutts at the top of the ladder. Ziggler fell eventually and took a nasty bump on the ground, falling off the ladder, and Daniel Bryan captured the Intercontinental title. He is your new champion, and I couldn't be more happy about that. He goes from WrestleMania last year beating Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton in one night to claim the WWE Championship, and now he opens WrestleMania this year and is now crowned the new Intercontinental Champion. So congrats to Daniel Bryan. He certainly deserved to win it, and that win tonight went to Connor the Crusher. So all the more significance of him winning the Intercontinental title tonight. What I see with the Intercontinental title going into the summer, I do see Bryan and Ziggler battling it out for the title leading into SummerSlam. I have so many ideas myself as to what I would do with Ziggler and Bryan. You could do a best-of-7 series culminating at SummerSlam. Have those two go at it, tie 3-3 as if they're in a baseball playoff. Go 3-3 into Brooklyn and then have match 7 at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship. If they want to have it in a ladder match, or if they want to have it in a submission match, an Iron Man match, whatever the case may be, man. WWE needs to start treating the IC title from this point on as something that is positioned right under the WWE Championship, simply because now Daniel Bryan has it, and the want and the need of these guys to go after that belt has now been raised, okay? The matches and the quality of matches that we're going to be getting with Bryan raise the value of the Intercontinental title, and Ziggler's going to be that guy to challenge him through the remainder of the summer, and I couldn't be more happy about that, man. It's good for you, it's good for me, it's good for the WWE audience, it's good for the internet wrestling community as well, man, because everyone loves these two guys, and that's what we want to see. We want to see wrestling. We want to see people go in the ring battling over championship gold and being competitive, and that's exactly what Bryan and Ziggler are going to bring to the Intercontinental title. So Daniel Bryan in a very physical match that opened WrestleMania, one of the better ladder matches I think I've seen at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan wins the Intercontinental Championship. Now, moving on from that, we're going to talk about the United States Championship, the other championship that was on the line during the main show of WrestleMania. We all knew John Cena was going to win the United States Championship. There was no way that he was going into WrestleMania and losing. John Cena has been rumored to have the United States Championship around his waist for some time now. A lot of you guys even predicted way before the Royal Rumble, before it was even, reported on the dirt sheets that Rusev and John Cena were going to meet head-to-head eventually, and that John Cena was going to feast on Rusev and ruin his undefeated streak. Well, that all happened tonight. Rusev did look strong in defeat. I will say that this is not the end of this feud. I do see these two guys going at it at Extreme Rules. It would be silly for Rusev to regain the United States Championship because it doesn't play into the WWE's plans. The WWE's plans following WrestleMania, like I discussed on Joe Cronin's podcast today, is that the WWE seems to want, a reset of everything that's going on with their roster, including the championships. We had 3 title changes tonight with Seth Rollins, we had Daniel Bryan, and John Cena. We have all new champions for all 3 major titles in the company. WWE, and just like Joe Cronin said, wanted to hit the reset button on everything. John Cena is going to remain your United States champion simply because WWE knows that both the Intercontinental title and the United States title have not meant a goddamn fucking thing to the WWE in years. The fucking shit that I took this afternoon, okay, meant more than both of those titles combined. Seriously. And that's just me speaking the truth. Now, since John Cena is now holding the United States Championship and Daniel Bryan is now holding the IC title, just by name recognition alone, those titles mean more now than they have ever meant this decade in WWE. So good job on that for WWE, coming up with a creative plan to bring relevance back to the mid-card, because it's been neglected for some time now, especially with Brock Lesnar being the champion for over 220 days. He has not been on TV, and WWE has failed to create new stars. Now, all of a sudden, with WWE switching their world champion from Brock Lesnar to Seth Rollins, now they want to hit the reset button and go forward with Daniel Bryan and John Cena. These guys should have been those champions when Brock Lesnar was taking the months off and only appearing, 3 times a year. Now they want to hit the reset button. Yeah, I feel it's a little bit too late now. But regardless of that, those belts are going to be brought up to some relevancy, and it should be good for the company, and it should be good for the fans. Now, the match with Rusev, I honestly think the match at Fastlane was better than what we've seen at WrestleMania tonight. The feud was built up a lot more, with a lot more intrigue than the one to Fastlane. Fastlane was just built off simple, you interfered in my interview, and I shoved you, and I shoved you back, and okay, let's have a match for the United States Championship. That's how that came to be. Then WWE started to pick up steam, and WWE started to develop a storyline with these two. It's going to be the foreign fanatic, the foreign terrorist, whatever the fuck you want to call him, who hates America, going against Mr. USA, John Cena. And that's how the entire premise of this feud, was built. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's the oldest trick in the book, but it gets fan reaction, it gets heat. It gets people talking. It makes for good television. It makes for good storylines. It makes for something that fans can invest their time in and be interested in. And that's what the entire match was built off of. The match at Fastlane was better than what we've seen tonight at WrestleMania. But who's to complain, man? This was just a simple way for John Cena to get revenge on Rusev from Fastlane, and get revenge on Rusev for what he did to him on Monday Night Raw, putting the accolade on him on the announce table and pretty much brutalizing the American hero. John Cena was not going to walk into WrestleMania and not take the United States Championship. So for you guys who were complaining that John Cena buried Rusev, look at the positives of John Cena holding the United States Championship. Do you want Rusev to remain undefeated for 3-4 years? Yes, I was one of those guys who thought Rusev's undefeated streak should be treated as something special. But I'd rather have a flourishing mid-card where guys can come up and line themselves up and go after John Cena, and being in the same ring as John Cena, they're made to look more important simply by being in the same ring as John Cena. Guys who go up against Daniel Bryan are going to have great matches wrestled with Daniel Bryan. They're gonna be made simply by being in the ring with Daniel Bryan. That means more to me as a wrestling fan, as a fan of the product, than Rusev's undefeated streak, man. So you guys got to look at the positives as to Daniel Bryan and John Cena, especially winning the United States Championship. Don't look at the negatives about Rusev being buried. He was not buried, man. Rusev is one of the top heels in the company. WWE has put a lot of time and effort, and they invested a lot of money into Rusev to get him where he is right now, to get Lana where she is right now. People associate with Rusev because they hate the foreign fanatic, or whatever you want to call him, treating America like shit, man, because that is the easiest thing to sell. Okay, Rusev is going to get heat wherever he goes, and he's a made man simply because he's mingling in the same ring. with John Cena. He was the United States champion. Now that he's not the United States champion, they're going to have another match at Extreme Rules. I don't think Rusev is going to gain the title back. But regardless of that, Rusev could possibly be on to bigger and better things, and this will elevate his career to that next step. It may be slow, but his career is elevated simply because he's in the same ring and in the same feud, especially at WrestleMania with John Cena. Same thing goes for Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker. You fucking clowns coming at me on Twitter. JD, Bray Wyatt was buried. Listen, I want to tell you something. Simply because Bray Wyatt was in the fucking promo, the still shot of him and The Undertaker with the WrestleMania logo at the bottom of the screen, simply because Bray Wyatt was showcased next to The Undertaker, he's a made fucking man. His career is made. He didn't need to say one fucking word. As soon as the match was announced, Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker, his career was set, man. There's no reason for anyone to believe Bray Wyatt is buried simply because he lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is The Undertaker's event. And I will say this before I get into what I thought of the match. The Undertaker looked phenomenal tonight. He came out dressed as the American Badass with the black leather pants and the black tank top, and he had hair on his head, which I was very happy to see. He had hair. No more bald Undertaker, man. No more bald Undertaker. But Undertaker looked phenomenal tonight. A million times better than what we seen last year at WrestleMania. And I even turned to my brother and I asked, I wonder if The Undertaker was made to look weak and frail at last year's WrestleMania, simply because he was going to be losing to Brock Lesnar. I don't know what happened, but we do know for a fact The Undertaker suffered a concussion, so as that match lingered on, he just looked dreadful. This year comes around, and what a difference a year makes, man. Undertaker looked in great shape. He got himself ready, and the one thing I will say about The Undertaker, which I don't understand and I don't like, dating back to when we used to watch The Undertaker as a young child, Undertaker always looked unbeatable. The Undertaker always looked just inhuman. You know, he was impervious to pain. Now, the more recent Undertaker, I understand he's aging. I understand he's no longer undefeated at WrestleMania. But the simple fact that The Undertaker is made to look weak when he gets up. He can't get up quick enough. When he sits up, it's not like The Undertaker of old. You know, I understand he's trying to tell a story, but The Undertaker oversells, I think, a little bit too much from his opponents beating down on him during the match. I like The Undertaker to take some pain, but come at him, and The Undertaker just says, you know what, fuck it. He just comes at his opponent and just finishes him off 1, 2, 3. I don't like The Undertaker playing to their opponent too much, to the fact where Undertaker can't get up, he's crawling around, he's struggling to, get up on the ropes, he can't carry his own weight, etc., etc. That's the only thing about The Undertaker nowadays in modern day WWE I don't like. I don't like seeing that because I finally remember The Undertaker, being impervious to pain and getting up and being quick and agile and this and that. I understand he's aging, but, it all comes down to story, and I understand why he's doing it. The Undertaker tells a great story in the ring, and that's exactly what he did tonight with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt in no way, shape, or form was buried by The Undertaker. Simply because he was tombstoned by The Undertaker at WrestleMania in front of 76,000 people, Bray Wyatt was made. The fact that he stared The Undertaker in the eyes, center of that ring in front of 76,000 people at WrestleMania, he was made. The fact that he nailed 2 Sister Abigails on The Undertaker, he was made. The fact that he stared The Undertaker in the eyes doing his spider crawl and The Undertaker sat up at the same time simultaneously, he was made. Don't worry about Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt does not need championship gold at all to be relevant in WWE. One of the most talented guys on the roster, can cut an amazing promo, can wrestle one hell of a fucking match, and he knows what he's doing. Bray Wyatt can take a loss to anybody and still look impervious. He can still look amazing. And Undertaker made Bray Wyatt look like $1,000,000 tonight just by what happened tonight, just by the storytelling in the ring. And it was phenomenal to see The Undertaker come back after such a dreadful WrestleMania 30 with Brock Lesnar and come back looking stronger than ever, man. He looks phenomenal. And I tip my cap for The Undertaker getting back into wrestling shape and conditioning and getting back in that WrestleMania shape, man. 1 year does wonders. And if The Undertaker keeps on doing what he's doing, he might not even have to retire next year, man. Who would want to see him retire? But it is what it is. Undertaker defeats Bray Wyatt tonight with a tombstone and seals another victory at WrestleMania before he goes on to Dallas and WrestleMania 32 in what I would say is going to be a match for the ages if WWE books it correctly. The Undertaker versus the Vigilante, the Outlaw, Sting at WrestleMania 32 in front of 106,000 people at AT&T Stadium, man. Book it. The other big match that was going down tonight, Triple H and Sting going at it one-on-one. WWE versus WCW. Triple H had an amazing entrance with the Terminator, man. He comes up through the fucking stage. Terminator cyborgs surrounding him, and he comes up wearing a Terminator mask, and he's carrying cyborg skulls, man. The skulls of all the fucking wrestlers that he buried over the years, man. It was fucking unbelievable. I'm just joking about that, but the entrance was grand. Sting came down to some Japanese guys banging on drums and this and that. Kind of looked like he was entering the arena for Mortal Kombat. It was crazy, man. They both got very luxurious entrances to WrestleMania, well-deservedly so. The match wasn't anything all that cracked up to be, man. It wasn't really that special. It really wasn't, something that I would tell you to fucking rush out and go see. But it did tell an amazing story, and it was more about the theatrics than anything else, man. It had intrigue, it had excitement, it had the crowds invested, but it was based off nostalgia. And I don't think the WWE did anyone any favors. I would have much rather had a one-on-one match with WCW Sting versus WWE Triple H. Who's going to come out on top, et cetera, et cetera. And it was based all on nostalgia. And I really didn't think WWE was going to go the route that they did tonight. As soon as we heard Degeneration X music hit and we seen Kevin Nash, X-Pac, and the New Age Outlaws come running down to the ring, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? And then all of a sudden I hear Michael Cole saying that this match is a no disqualification match. When the fuck did the rules get changed mid-match, man? I watched all of the pregame. They mentioned nothing about a no disqualification rule being added to Sting versus Triple H. I don't know when that rule was made, so if somebody knows when that rule was made, please let me know, unless it was made on the fly. I have no idea. But Degeneration X came down, and they were interfering in the match. And then all of a sudden, fucking NWO music... Excuse me, I'm still fucking battling this cold. NWO music comes down, and you see Nash, Hall, and Hogan come down to the ring representing WCW. So it was a throwback on the Monday Night Wars. Now, I don't understand why they built this match off nostalgia. You had Sting, who was, marketable. You had Triple H, who was marketable. This was one of the better feuds built up during Monday Night Raw. Why did they have to build this off nostalgia? Yes, it got the crowd going. It got everyone fucking talking. It blew up social media. It was nice to see all the old-timers there. It was nice to see the NWO and hear the music and see Degeneration X again. But the match didn't need it. The match didn't need it. But it is what it is, and I'm not going to complain. It was definitely great to see. I'm not going to sit here and complain about seeing Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall come down to the NWO music, man, because everybody loves seeing the fucking old-timers come down, and we all love reliving the past. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I was legitimately shocked, man. I didn't expect him to be a part of WrestleMania, but Shawn Michaels comes down out of nowhere and super kicks Sting in the middle of the ring, and at that point I thought the fucking match was over. Shawn Michaels super kicks Sting right in the fucking face, and that wasn't even the end of the match, man. There was more to it, and in the end of it all, Triple H pretty much is victorious over WCW and pretty much victorious over the one man left standing representing WCW and Sting. I didn't think the outcome was the right thing to do. If it was up to me, I would have booked Sting to win this match simply because it was his first match in WWE. It was his first WrestleMania. Why wouldn't you want Sting to win his first match in his first WrestleMania in a WWE ring, man? I don't know. But it goes to show you, and a lot of you guys even mentioned it on Twitter, that this one was Vince McMahon finally sticking the nail in the coffin of WCW. He brought Sting in and pretty much dropped Sting at WrestleMania and had him take a loss at his event under his roof in his ring. And whatever Vince McMahon wants, Vince McMahon gets, man. So Sting loses his first match in WWE. He loses to Triple H tonight. And what's going to happen with Sting, man? I don't know. He's been on record to say this might possibly be his last match. But with the way The Undertaker looked tonight, who would want Sting to go away? Who would want The Undertaker to retire, man? these two now. It's fucking perfect. The stars are aligned under the Dallas night, man. In Dallas, Texas at WrestleMania 32. This match needs to happen. And I hope it does happen. Sting, I don't know, man. He's been rumored for Monday Night Raw. I'm hearing rumors. I'm reading the dirt sheets. I even reported it on Off The Script that Sting might be booked or is scripted for Monday Night Raw. Brock Lesnar is scripted for Monday Night Raw. We don't know what's going on. So it's going to be an interesting night on Monday Night Raw, man. Excuse me again. Moving on, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. What a match this was as well, man. This match took place very, very early on the card. Randy Orton wins this one by an RKO. Seth Rollins was going for the curb stomp, and he goes for the curb stomp. He jumps and leaps off Orton's back. Orton flips him up, reverses it, and hits an RKO as Seth Rollins is coming down from the curb stomp, man. It was absolutely unbelievable. You would have to go back and go view it because I'm doing it no justice, man. It was the prettiest RKO, or budget cut, I should say, I think I've ever seen. The match itself was great. There was some type of interference with J&J Security. They got involved. That really wasn't too much for Orton to overcome, but you seen the story that was being told in the ring. Orton was going to do whatever it took to get his hands on Seth Rollins, to get revenge on Seth Rollins. He finally got it tonight. He beat Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring, and a lot of guys were asking, including me, being that match took place so early on the card, will it be possible that Seth Rollins cashes in later in the night, since he's got a whole 3.5 hours to recuperate on one of the guys in the main event, and that's exactly what he did. But earlier in the night against Randy Orton, he did take the loss to the Viper Randy Orton after a beautiful RKO. And on the main show, guys, the Bellas and AJ Lee and Paige really didn't go too long. I was expecting it to go 15, 20 minutes tops, but we only got 5 minutes. Really nothing to discuss there. AJ Lee and Paige get the victory over the Bella Twins at WrestleMania. Now, one thing I do want to go over, the tag team title match, didn't really care for it. It was on the pre-show. It was nothing but a spot fest. There was a fucking Texas Tornado tag team match, fatal four-way, whatever you want to call it. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro retained the belts like they should, but it was nothing but a spot fest. There was really nothing all that exciting at all. It was just pure laziness, and I would have much rather had the tag team championships on the show being defended with one team going against another team, but WWE wanted to throw Los Matadores in there. They wanted to throw a New Day in there. Guys who really don't deserve to be on WrestleMania. Guys who didn't belong to be on WrestleMania, but it is what it is. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro got the win tonight to retain the tag team championships, and a fucking travesty in the making, man. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I know, means nothing. It means nothing to anybody, but as the match was ending, toward its conclusion, we kind of knew the outcome that was going to be. I even predicted this on the podcast this afternoon with Joe Cronin. I said, it's going to come down to Miz and Damien Sandow. Of course, the Big Show was there at the end. He eliminated Ryback, and he eliminated a couple other guys. He eliminated a New Day single-handedly. Goes to show you what WWE thinks of a New Day. Like, I'm supposed to take a New Day seriously now, man, if they got single-handedly eliminated by the Big Show in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Fucking pathetic. But that's not even the worst part, man. It came down to Damien Sandow, The Miz, and Big Show, okay? The Miz wanted him and Damien Sandow to team up on the Big Show to try and get him out of the ring so Miz could win the thing for himself. Sandow said, no, fuck this shit. He turns his back on the Miz, eliminates the Miz himself, and then it's left with Sandow and Big Show. And if the WWE wanted to give some type of push to Damien Sandow after the crowd has been going crazy for him for a good 6 months now, a good 6 months, possibly even longer, I don't understand why WWE didn't pull the trigger on Damien Sandow winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. What business is it of the Big Show to win a Battle Royal that means absolutely nothing to him, man? The Big Show doesn't need WrestleMania accolades anymore. He doesn't need WrestleMania accomplishments. He needs to fucking retire. The Battle Royal is already meaningless, and it will do nothing for anyone's career, man. I could have won it with no wrestling skill, no wrestling background at all, and I could be on Monday Night Raw tomorrow floating around with the fucking trophy. It would mean nothing. It means nothing for the Big Show to win that. If they wanted to give the crowd what they wanted, they should have went with Damien Sandow. I don't give a shit what Vince McMahon is thinking. He's got to get off the jock of these fucking Big Shows and Kanes and get them off the fucking TV, man. What a piss-poor decision that was for Damien Sandow to fucking lose something like that, when obviously he was the most wanted guy in the match to fucking win the thing. And of course, WWE doesn't listen to their fans and doesn't give the fans what they want. WWE really needs to do a better job at listening to the fucking audience, because if you don't, shit is going to be fucking flying all over the place, man. And the crowd is going to let you know exactly how they feel. And that was WrestleMania, guys. Let me see if I missed anything just to be sure. Bella Twins, AJ Lee, United States title, Rusev, John Cena, the kickoff show, Memorial Battle Royal Tag Team title match, Bray Wyatt, Undertaker, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, ladder match, Sting, Triple H, and Brock Lesnar vs. Roman Reigns. We got it all. Hideo Itami was even in the Battle Royal, man, and the fucking crowd was chanting, Hideo, Hideo, and what happens? He gets eliminated by the Big Show, man. Yeah, good job, Vince McMahon. Good job on that. You got 76,000 fucking people chanting for Hideo Itami in NXT, and you want to get him eliminated by the Big Show, man. Exactly what I just said. WWE doesn't listen to their fucking audience. But that is your WrestleMania review, man. If you guys got the network, go out and purchase the fucking network. Go and watch it again. It was absolutely fucking great. I would definitely recommend this WrestleMania over the fucking travesties that were of years past recently. I would definitely rate this in the top 10 of WrestleMania. I tip my cap to WWE for putting on a great show tonight, man. I honestly did not want it to end. It was amazing. And before I forget, Ronda Rousey, yes, I will not forget it. Ronda Rousey was in the ring tonight with The Rock. He made an appearance tonight at WrestleMania. I don't know what they're setting up for. Ronda Rousey was in attendance, sitting ringside. She got involved with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Rumors going around. A lot of you guys even thought of it too. They may be leading to a Rock Triple H match at WrestleMania, or if they want to they want to be adventurous, they could put Ronda Rousey and The Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in a mixed tag team match. That would be fucking unbelievable at WrestleMania 32 next year. I wonder what Dana White is thinking. I'm not sure if Ronda Rousey was contractually obligated to be there at WrestleMania. I don't know what's going on. As far as I know, she's still under contract with UFC and Dana White, but the entire segment, though dragged on just a little bit, Rock was hilarious. Everybody played their roles perfectly. Triple H sold the fuck out of The Rock's right hands, and, you know, Rock did a DX chop to Triple H for some added measure. But in the end, Ronda Rousey fucking completely hip-tossed Triple H out of the ring, and then got an armbar on Stephanie McMahon, and she fucking escaped underneath the bottom rope, selling her injury. And, you know, Ronda Rousey could have broke her arm in fucking 8 different places if she wanted to. But I don't know where this is leading. I know Vince McMahon wants The Rock versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32. They might have switched plans. They might have trolled the internet community with all these rumors. We may be getting The Rock and Triple H involved in something together. I know it was teased on SmackDown several months back when The Rock was doing his thing with Rusev, you know, making an appearance on Monday Night Raw. But I don't know what's going on with that, man. The Rock may now be involved with Triple H, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see. And that is absolutely fucking money if WWE can get Ronda Rousey in a WWE ring alongside The Rock, man. That will sell tickets at WrestleMania, and the WWE's on to something epic, man. We just don't know what, but that's the beauty of WWE, man. Once they got a great idea, we always come back for more, and we are always intrigued to see what they're going to do next, man. WWE seemed to have their creative caps on tonight. Now they need to continue the momentum into Monday Night Raw. They got to give us engaging television. They got to invest their audience in the product. They have to keep things sharp. They have to keep things unpredictable. And that's exactly what they did tonight with WrestleMania, man. It was very unpredictable, and it was a great show all in all. 9 out of 10 for WrestleMania tonight. Let me know what you guys think about WrestleMania down below. If you had any positives, any negatives, what you want to discuss. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. We just hit 25,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Seth Rollins is your new WWE Champion. Daniel Bryan is your new Intercontinental Champion. John Cena is your new United States Champion. Brock Lesnar was a fucking beast as always tonight and did not look bad in defeat. And Roman Reigns, there you go, man. There you go. Thank God he did not win the WWE Championship. If you guys missed any of my previous WWE videos, man, I got Off The Script, my personal podcast. Link is down below. Go and check all that shit out. I got my WWE 2K15 simulation, man. If you guys want to see how my simulation matches on 2K15 fared against the real thing, go and check that shit out. Everything you need is down in the description below. If you guys are not subscribed here, man, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button. #1 source for all WWE news and rumors right here on YouTube.com. And if you guys are not following me on Twitter, man, right underneath where I'm talking, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook, go follow me all along social media. Thank you guys for tweeting along with me during WrestleMania, man. It was a fucking blast. Thank you for 25,000. Thank you for all the new followers on Twitter. And I will see you guys all for the Monday Night Raw review on Tuesday, man. It's going to be fucking the hottest Monday Night Raw of the calendar year. So I will see you there tweeting along, man. Until then, this is JD. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, man. This is going to be the biggest video on my channel this year, my WrestleMania 31 review, man. We just hit 25. Let's get closer to 30 as soon as possible, man. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back for Monday Night Raw. Until then, this is JD. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Thank you.